Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson have been going back and forth, trading words on social media about fighting each other. As you know, Shakur Stevenson is at 135 pounds. He's the WBC champion. And Teofimo Lopez is one weight class up at 140 pounds. And I believe he holds the is it the WBO belt? Or is it the IBF? I think Teo holds the IBF. No. The IBF belt is Richardson Hitchens. But Teo, I think, holds the WBO 140-pound belt. Either that or the WBA. It's one of those. But he's been having some back and forth online with Shakur Stevenson. And also he released this weak-ass sparring video. I'm thinking, he's doing something in the sparring, but all you saw was probably a tired Shakur Stevenson and Teo. They're just like standing there posturing, not really punching each other. You see Teo throw a couple of jabs. That was it. I don't know what the goofy stuff was for. Why even post something like that? I'm thinking he gonna post something where he's whooping on Shakur, and there was nothing. So then they asked on an interview. They asked both of them. They asked Teo, "Hey, look, what's up with the Shakur Stevenson? Would you like to fight him?" Oh yeah, we can make it happen. And then he immediately goes into, there's a lot of big names, and okay, I'm like, yeah, he talking shit, bro. Then they asked Shakur. Shakur's like, yo, Teo, man, he's scared of me, man. I heard he's scared to fight me, bro. And I don't know, man. I probably would have to listen if they never fight. I would have to probably believe what Shakur Stevenson is saying, because let's face it, y'all. Look, he had all opportunities to fight Devin at 135, never fought him. He sparred both of these dudes, so he probably they probably worked him in sparring. I did see Devin sparring Teo. He was punching on Teo, bro. So, both of these dudes, Tank and Teo, man, I'm not sure what it is about them when it comes to Devin and Shakur. I will say this about Ryan Garcia. Petted up and all. At least he finally fought Devin Haney. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with Teofimo Lopez fighting these two dudes. I don't know why Tank Davis ain't fighting them. Especially Tank. The one that said both of them ain't got no power. And he's, noticed the two dudes he said don't have any power is the same two dudes he ain't knock off yet. That's a little crazy. And Teo, same thing. He runs his mouth. Shakur, runs and da-da-da. Devin was never undisputed and, shut up. Okay, well, look, fight him. Hasn't fought Devin yet. All he does is bump his gums on social media. He ain't fight them. He never will. He probably never will, man. So don't get your hopes up for a Teo versus Shakur fight. Probably never happen. He just talk. Then he was supposed to fight Devin, Teo. Then he tried to blame Devin being Muslim as to one of the reasons he didn't want to fight him. So I'm like, this is the new age boxing that we got to deal with, man. Can you imagine the fighters back when we grew up in the 80s and the 90s? Can you imagine those fighters talking this kind of talk? It would not be acceptable. We are living in a different era now in boxing. We are living amongst a softer generation of boxers, man. Let's just face it. Ain't many real dogs out there no more. Everybody's skipping and ducking and dodging. Nobody want to fight. And everybody using social media to pretend to be something that they're not. Would I love to see a fight? Absolutely. But I ain't getting my hopes up, y'all. Y'all shouldn't either. There's going to be Teofimo's going to find some way to squeeze out of it and make all excuses in the world why not to fight Shakur. But, let's be honest. Both of these dudes have... I'm going to say this again. I'm going to keep on reiterating this. These dudes have their own smoke in their divisions, especially Teofimo Lopez. Teo got Subriel Matias right there. He just got a belt back. Richardson Hitchens is right there. Who's the other belt holder at 140? Gary Antoine Russell. I said this already. Why isn't he lining up fights with them three dudes, bro? Why isn't Teofimo Lopez trying to unify or go for undisputed against those three dudes? which I think all three of those dudes beat Teofimo Lopez, in my humble opinion. Teo's a good fighter. I don't think he probably got to. I'll be honest. Teo probably could beat Subriel Matias. I don't think he beat Richardson Hitchens, and I don't think he beats Gary Antoine Russell. Subriel Matias, I don't think he has the skill set to really beat a Teo, a counter puncher or a mover. I think his best belt, his easiest belt out of those three is from Subriel Matias. Just my opinion. Shakur Stevenson, same. He got some, he has more of an excuse to fight dudes at a higher class than anybody else. You got Tank Davis. He probably going to retire. He probably end up dropping the belt, the WBA at 135. Then, who's the other belt holders at 135? Keyshawn Davis. He had the WBO belt. He's leaving the division, I believe, and then that's going to be a vacant belt. So maybe, Shakur could fight for that belt and be unified against, I don't know. I got to look at the rankings, so maybe they can line something up again with Kid Austin with some stipulations. And then they can go for that belt. That should be an easy win for Shakur. Then he'll get that belt from him. And then he'll be unified. And then who else has the other belt at 135? Oh, damn. All right, so you're going to have a belt that's Tank holding on one of them that probably going to be vacant soon. Keyshawn, I believe he had a belt that's going to be vacant, or if it's not already vacant. Shakur has one. And who the hell has the other belt at lightweight, man? Loma. What happened to the belt Loma? Didn't Loma... All those dudes leaving the division besides Shakur. So Shakur should have his hands on some of them belts soon enough, bro. He should be fighting some dudes for a couple of vacant belts and be unified at that division. So I guess we got to stay tuned for that. But let me know what you think about Shakur Stevenson potentially fighting Teofimo Lopez. I don't think it'll happen, but we'll have to see. This is your boy, Rebel Light Boxing. Catch y'all in the next one, and I'm off this.